All right, thank you very much for staying with Cool CDFM 92.9 Enugu. It is the breakfast show on 5th December 2024. And today's Thursday, the very first Thursday in the month of December. I want to believe you're getting set for the Christmas celebration, however you choose to celebrate, even if it happens to be low-key, depending on your budget. For the interactive this morning, our topic is International Day of Persons with Disability 2024. Theme is Amplifying the Leadership of Persons with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future. My guest in the studio remain Comrade Onyebuchi Mba. He is Chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, JONAPWD, Enugu State. Also, let him greet you. We can say good morning to the listener.
Yes, good morning once again to the listener.
Hearing your voice.
Thank you.
I also have Nonye Ogbuagu, Director, Welfare Albinism Association of Nigeria. Welcome to CDFM once again.
Thank you. Good morning once again.
All right, we'll go quickly into our topic, International Day of Persons with Disability 2024, which the theme is Amplifying the Leadership of Persons with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future. First, let me ask, has it been changed from persons living with disability to persons with disability?
Yes. Living with disabilities is too absolutism.
Okay.
And it also somehow puts you on the side of hopelessness
and discrimination.
So,
all right, let's get to the interactive proper. I'd like to know, what does it mean to amplify the leadership of persons with disabilities?
What it means is to give them a voice, just like Radio Nigeria does. I must commend Radio Nigeria for indeed always taking into cognizance the existence of this special community. Amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities also has to do with giving them space, that enabling environment for them to also show up and showcase their own God's-given talents in leadership circle. Be it, when we say leadership in this part of the world, unfortunately, many times we always think about political side of it, being a governor, being a senator, president, and the rest of them. But I know that leadership encompasses many areas of life, from the family, which they say is the smallest unit of the society. So you can lead in your family, you can lead in your immediate community, you can lead in the church, religious aspect, you can lead in school. You can lead anywhere you find yourself. And here we are today also demonstrating our own leadership capacity by being able to organize ourselves in spite of the disability. We know we are well organized nationwide and has our structure across Nigeria Federation. So amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. So it is a way to ensure there is room for inclusivity in all that we do. It is a call to ensure that the world we are in, there is need for us to establish a platform that will set up issues about persons with disabilities on a sustainable drive other than what we've seen over the years. So this is what Sustainable Development Goal demands and requires, and we must work towards any approach that will ensure a sustainable future for all.
Okay. Let me bring it to the lady in the studio, Nonye Ogbuagu. Let me ask you, how can we promote inclusive leadership? Because that's what you're talking about. You want to promote inclusive leadership. How do we ensure that is possible?
Okay, I have to start from the family, because before you talk of the society, you must come out from your family. Must bring you out. If you have a child with disability of any type in a family, it is the role of the parents to bring out this child Train the child. Know that, yes, this person can be blind, but mentally the person is sound. This person cannot hear well or speak, but mentally that child is sound. So you don't go hide your child in the house, put him under the bed and say, what can this one do? He's crippled, he's this, he's that, or she cannot hear, she has albinism. But if you bring the child, train the child. If the child is somebody who can go academically or vocationally, bring out that child. It is only when that child is independently standing out that the person can talk of being getting inclusiveness in the society. So, and when the person is independent and comes out to the society, then this leadership quality comes out. The person give a child a voice. Then you see that the disability does not make one stupid. Because one has a disability does not mean that this person has nothing to offer. So at least you can imagine this, my chairman sitting down here. You only hearing him speak will tell you that if the parents had not done what they were supposed to do in his life, we will have lost a talent.
In Radio Nigeria here, when I joined the job, we had a producer who was good at what he was doing, who was also visually impaired. Okay. He was a producer here. But then let me ask you this question, because there is this difference from what we call a person with disability in Nigeria or in Africa against what's obtainable in the Western world. When we talk about people with disability in Nigeria, we talk about people who have visual impairment, people who have hearing issues. Then we talk about the persons with albinism. We talk about people who maybe from polio-related issues.
Challenged people.
Let me cite an example for you. We had a governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, who, if you've seen him walk, you can tell he limps. If he's in the Western world, he's a person with disability.
Yeah.
Now, if it's in the Western world and you have a speech default, you cannot speak fluently, not fluently, you can't speak coherently to the other person. You'll be, registered as a person with disability, and you could be on some form of welfare in the Western world. But in Nigeria, it's not the case. You see that Nigeria has a clear cut-out disability. What I mean is, do we have spelled out names for disabled people?
The issue is this. In Nigeria, we are still denying the fact that persons with disabilities should be heard.
Oh.
It is only when you have accepted in the society that these people should be included in what we are doing that you now place them in welfare. We are still fighting to be heard. We are still fighting to be included in what we are doing, what is being obtainable in Nigeria. You can see a place like in school, a child who has a hearing impaired will not be will be excluded in school. So, but if we have agreed that this person is part of us, this person has the right for everything that any other child has in Nigeria, that is when you talk about welfare.
So you're saying that before welfare, there is need to hear from those who have these issues.
It's not even hearing from them, just accepting. There should be acceptance. This child or this person is part of the society.
Okay.
Is a Nigerian. Is a citizen, a bona fide citizen of this country.
Okay.
Then it is only when you agree and stop discrimination and stigmatization that is when you include that person in the welfare. But for now, it is not obtainable. Anyway, thank God for today. There's a disability groups are coming up to fight for our rights and other things. If not for before, nobody here. We have not been hearing the disability, JONAPWD and everything. It's just for now that we are hearing about.
Okay, let me come to you, Comrade Onyebuchi Mba. What challenges do persons with disabilities face in the community so that people who do not know get to hear from you?
One of the most challenges persons with disabilities have out there is that the link between disability and poverty is becoming unbearable. The link between disability and poverty is what I always describe as husband and wife. Disability could be a husband to poverty, or poverty being a wife to disability. And both of them coming together keeps one perpetually down. It takes away your human dignity. It makes you a beggar. It dehumanizes you. It keeps you on the pity side of life, sympathy and sorry states. I mean, there is anyway. Let me continue the challenges. Away from the economic side of it, where I know that a whole lot of our members out there, from primary, secondary to tertiary institution, all through have been struggling. And after the whole thing, they will retire back to their houses with nothing and inability to put food on their table. So employment opportunities is number one. And then I am also aware that the transportation sector is not accessible for them. It's not designed to accommodate them, that as you make use of the transport services, that they too deserve same equal rights and opportunities. Infrastructural wise, like buildings that you access on daily basis, many of them go to offices, and when they get there, they will say, the office of the person you are looking for is at the first floor, second floor, third floor. The person will be down there begging and begging who to lead him or her, or to communicate so and so person that is there. And it's only few persons that has that have that mind of humility, that will now say, okay, let me come down from the building and meet you. If not so, you'll return back home and nobody will attend to you.
So what you're saying in essence is that the Nigerian system has not realized and decided to accommodate persons with
exactly. The support services is not there. Health-wise, if I should begin to narrate to you what happens at the health sector facilities within this state and beyond, you will cry, because a whole lot of them go to hospitals and return back unattended.
Okay, then if we have said there is a stigma against persons with disability, how do we start addressing such stigma? Let's begin to look at a profiling solution. Maybe government officials could begin to hear now. Maybe persons who would hold positions of authority tomorrow, people who get into legislative positions, could be listening at the moment. What are the steps that should be taken to address stigma and ensure that those persons, our brothers and sisters who have one form of disability or the other, are being, not discriminated against and also accepted in the system?
One is to keep talking about it, as Radio Nigeria is doing and amplifying. I will keep talking about it, that look, you should look at the next person close to you as a human being. And moreover, disability is a natural occurrence. It can be somebody tomorrow. It is A today, it can be B tomorrow. It doesn't have any specific or particular individuals targeted, that it can come to anybody and to any family. So we should all join hands together to talk against it and encourage people to live a life more of empathy other than even sympathizing. Sympathizing has not really solved the matter over the years. And I also say that education-wise, we should integrate subjects and the courses that has to do with special education into our school. I know it's there already, but it appears the thing is not working for now. The inclusive education policy should be given a bite for it to function and function well. Because I know for us to achieve this sustainable future, it is only through education. And that remains one of the major ways that we could begin to sink this information to people's understanding. And again, I also wish to say, yes, from that of conventions on rights of persons with disabilities from United Nations down to African Charter on Rights of Persons with Disabilities and to 2018-2019 Nigeria Disability Law, it is expected that states that have not domesticated their disability laws should quickly do so, and down to local government levels. Like that of Enugu, where we are now, we have that law here in Enugu, Disability Law 2023, but has no disability Disability Commission as the law recommends. So we call on the government to give it a face, to give a listening ear to that law and make it a working document for us to join hands together and pursue a sustainable future for all.
Okay, before I go to your colleague in the studio, you've mentioned disability law of Enugu State. For those of us who have no clue of what the law says, give us an insight to the law. What does the law entail, and how will persons with disability in Enugu State get to benefit from the law if it comes to fruition?
The law is all about integrating persons with disabilities into social lives and ensuring inclusivity for all, ranging from their educational life, their economic life, the political aspect of it, the health, and all other aspects of life. The law recommends 5% job opportunities in any government employment exercise. Like I said, that issue, how many of us annually get employment at the end of our schooling? So the law also recommends that public buildings that are not accessible now for persons with disabilities, like those on wheelchair clusters and the rest of them, were given 10 years space for them to make amend and accommodate ramp and accessible areas that this set of persons could be enjoying like every other citizen. The law also provides that when government are building roads, it should accommodate the fact that a person on wheelchair, the pedestrian that we all know, should be built in such a way that it should be accessible. If you want to learn this very well, go to Abuja. You see a very wonderful road that they built, and you can go through it, and I can go through it comfortably without any fear. The law also frowns against individuals that have taken it as a business to carry persons with disabilities around Holy Ghost and other areas of Enugu for business venture and profit making. And if the law gets these individuals, there are recommendations for such a person.
You did say that this law is domesticated in Enugu State.
Yes, 2023, signed by the immediate past governor.
Domesticated
and signed into law.
Okay, it was signed by the immediate past
governor. Yes.
Okay.
So this present governor graciously has also gazetted it this year, and all it requires now is just, even if it's one room, a place that could be called Enugu State Disability Commission. And I know that there are individuals and international organizations that are also ready to fund disability matters and see that these persons are given sense of belonging in the society. Not only the government, because I also know the economic side of it, where the government may be thinking, hey, how much do we have, and then how do we budget for this? It's not only a government thing.
Okay. 1 year plus in office, the governor has gazetted it, as you said. So there is hope that
very hope. Yes,
other steps will be taken to ensure that the persons with disability in Enugu State are carried along as other citizens. Let me come to your colleague now. I'd like to ask, because the topic is amplifying the leadership of persons with disability for an inclusive and sustainable future. So what are the opportunities that exist for persons with disability to take on leadership roles? Have you seen opportunities? Do you think there are any that exist out there?
There are many opportunities, because we have many qualified and even overqualified persons with disabilities that can take any role, any office, if given the opportunity. But the issue is that we are not given the opportunity. We are not even remembered when appointments are being made. Like, there is no SAPA, SSA, commissioner, whatever, local government chairman that is a person with disability. That does not mean that we don't have people that can handle those offices. But because we are not being included in the policy making, or when we're not even being remembered. But if we are given the opportunity, I know that many of us can do much better than others. Or because we are being relegated to the background because...
okay, you're talking about not giving the opportunity. Yes. But I'm asking, do you see opportunities out there for you? Do you see places that you can explore, avenues that you can explore and get to hold on leadership positions as persons with disability?
Yes, I see.
Because I asked that question, I had compared Nigeria to the Western world. One of the persons, I like to cite an example now, Professor Patutomi. You can address him as a person with albinism. Yes. We also have one of your pioneer,
We have
leaders
Honorable Silas Silo, who was a minister.
Even the current governor of
Because I was going to ask you,
Akwa Ibom State is a person with
I was going to ask you the question of, do you have persons with disability that have held positions or holding positions that you can share their stories that we'll get to learn that they could be excellent persons in positions of authority?
Yes, we have the current governor of Akwa Ibom State now is a person with albinism.
The happiness governor.
Okay, that was his cause. Yeah, there are opportunities. There are people like that. Just like I mentioned, late Honorable Silas Ido. There was one man that worked in Radio Nigeria, Pius Emeka somebody. He was in Radio Nigeria. I think he was Pius Emeka. He was a person with albinism. And there are other people that we had in Enugu State, Honorable Lugumba is a physically challenged person. Though when I knew that man, he wasn't, I think that one was, his own was an accident that happened when he was in the House of Assembly. So there are opportunities, there are people who had held that, but in Enugu State, we have not had anybody. We had somebody in Kogi State who was a hearing impaired person.
Okay, time will not be on our side for us to take those stories and personalities. So what measures do you think that can be taken to ensure that there is accessible education and employment opportunities for persons with disabilities in Enugu State? Let me come to Comrade Onyebuchi Mba.
Yes, we have often said this, appreciating the ongoing smart school projects across the 260 wards of the state, and it is only a worthwhile project when it is accessible for all. That is when it is said that if a blind child goes in there, he or her will enjoy same as the normal child in quotes also enjoys. And when it's a child on wheelchair, clutches, albinism, or a leprosy, a whole lot of so that is one of the ways to ensure accessibility by making it all inclusive. Outside the infrastructural, the physical side of it, erecting buildings and others, there is also need for personnel that will be trained alongside this special education.
Okay, let me add this to what you addressed, because time is not on our side. While you're talking about education and employment opportunities for your people, what technologies would you like government and individuals to make available to you that will make life easier for you? Because I do understand that if you're a visually impaired person, if you're somebody with albinism or whatever shortcomings, that there is need for you to make use of technology to make life easier for you. I'd like the both of you to address such. Just in 30 seconds.
Yes, the technology is the ICT. You can see me holding my smartphone. We operate laptops with specially designed applications
for your needs.
Yes, so it is only when this requires a sit-down thing to think and discuss together for us to develop policy on how it suits each of these disability groups, because that of the blind differs from that of
okay, let me bring it to your colleague in the studio.
We need handheld magnifiers, telescope, and you can make bold prints so that albinism, our own challenge we have to the skin and the sight. So the sight aspect, make the prints bold. Get handheld magnifier, telescope that will make that child with albinism see well. Then provide some protective things that will not allow the skin to get burned.
I would have loved you to leave it at that, but I'd like you to take this last one, maybe in 10 seconds. Tell parents who have kids with albinism what they should do and they should not do, because some kids, before you get to know it, they've been exposed to excessive heat and all that, and their skin cannot handle.
The first and major thing a child with albinism needs is not to be exposed to the sun. Prevent exposure to the sun. Even if you must go, because we are in Africa.
All right, prevent exposure to the sun. And I believe your aid organizations, your NGOs, you need help from individuals and government and all that.
I can join us at Kampala School now.
Just in a second, mention your organizations to the listener.
Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities.
All right.
We are going to Okpara Square now for 2024 Disability Day celebration.
All right, that's been our topic, International Day of Persons with Disability 2024. Theme, Amplifying the Leadership of Persons with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future. And I've had in the studio Nonye Ogbuagu, Director on Welfare, Albinism Association of Nigeria, and also Comrade Onyebuchi Mba. He is the chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, Enugu State. Many thanks to my producer, Jude Obu. Thanks to the supervisor, Joy Obitulata. Executive producer has been Ike Chukwu Eze. My name is Chika Mwabra, asking you to stay tuned to Radio Nigeria, City FM 92.9. Up next is the news at 10. Akokowa. Good morning.